What's going on, Tube? This your boy Teddy B Blackman, and today I'm gonna give you a few signs that your relationship, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much over. Of course, nothing is set in stone, so anything is possible. But if you see a few of these signs, I'm just here to let you know that it may be time to start thinking about moving on if you're already not moving on. So we're gonna jump right into it. Number one, you're always annoyed at your partner. Now, if any little thing gets on your nerves about what your partner does, then it may just be time to move on. I don't think it could really get any better than that. It's very rare that a situation like you go from loving the person and basically they can get away with anything to you being annoyed by their every move back to you loving them and them getting away with it. I've never really seen it work out like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you get annoyed at every little thing that they do, or it seems like they're annoyed with every little thing that you do, then it may be time to move on. Number two, the thought of them touching you makes you cringe. Now, one of the most beautiful aspects of the relationship is the physicality, the affection and love and etc. If it gets to a point where you don't even want the person to touch you, it's time to move on. You know what I mean? A lot of relationship is built off the love/lust factor, and the TLC, tender love and care, affectionate portion of a relationship needs to be very strong. If let alone it being weak, but if there's none at all, then sad to say that it may be time to move on. Number three, you start to hate their habits. Now, when you first jump into a relationship, you pretty much overlook everything, maybe red flags, etc., all that included. And you may have noticed that maybe somebody has some bad habits or anything like that. But you overlook it and you can learn to live with it going forward because you're really into this person. You really see a future with them and stuff like that. When it gets to a point where it's abundantly clear, like, this probably isn't going to work out, you tend to get annoyed, which was what I was saying a few seconds ago. You tend to get annoyed at everything, you know what I'm saying? So the habits included. So whether, if a person smokes, you might start to think like, wow, you just smoke too much. You know what I'm saying? And then it just snowball effects from there. So once a person gets to hating the habits, it's pretty much time to leave. Number four, could have been number one, but the arguments are escalating. Now, this is very common in relationships, friendships, family ships, whatever. This is very common. Arguments start out of nowhere, and they tend to take longer to end than before. You know what I mean? If you find yourself arguing at every little thing or every other little topic that y'all talking about, it's time to move on. There's a disconnect somewhere in there. There's a distrust. And there's a lack of respect and compassion for said party. Either or, it doesn't have to just be them or just be you. Somewhere in there, there's a disconnect or whatever. So if you're arguing frequently, again, it's a rare occasion where somebody is like not arguing frequently, and then not arguing again. It's not impossible, but I'm just saying it's a very, 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 very rare occasion. And last, but certainly not least, again, this could have been number one as well. Relationship just isn't going nowhere. When people get into these relationships at first, you're always talking about building a strong foundation and future plans and, this kind of career, we could build this together, or we could buy land and this and that. But after a while and the dust settles and all that, the honeymoon phase is over, you kind of see it just not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? It puts you in a tough spot because in order to move on from a relationship that you've been so invested in, and time, money, love, compassion, stress, anxiety, selflessness, and carelessness towards your partner, like, it takes a lot of strength to walk away from that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people tend to not want to leave no matter how bad it gets. But if you see your relationship not going anywhere, if you're driving down the street and you clearly see that you need to get off this street because there's a brick wall up ahead and there's no other way around it, you're going to crash into it if you keep going, get off the street. It's a tough decision, but you got to do what's best for you at the end of the day. Yes, you're in a relationship and it's two to tango, but at the end of the day, you are in that relationship. You can't control them, but you control you. So yeah, those are just some signs that if that's going on, hopefully not all of them, because there's relationships I see all the time with all of them going on. It's time to get up out there, you know what I'm saying? But I got other little videos that's telling about the signs of whether a person likes you, loves you, doesn't like you, doesn't love you, and I'm gonna keep this trend going. So you see this video, dig it, like, comment, subscribe, share, you know, help the small content creators. And again, Teddy B Blackman, I'm out.